Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. My name's Dino with DGM Tech Solutions, and what you're looking at on the screen is a chatbot that is connected to the Oracle Digital Assistant. This is a proof of concept chatbot that showcases 3 different skills that have been added to the digital assistant, and I will show you what these skills can do, which is specific to retail financial services brokers who offer trading facilities to the retail sector. That is Forex, CFDs, commodities, and other tradable assets through MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 or other trading system. So, this is Facebook Messenger. It is one of the channels that the Oracle Digital Assistant can connect through. And what makes it quite important is, or interesting, is that many of your potential and existing customers as a broker live or interact or use this application, specifically Messenger, on a daily basis. Other channels that can be connected are Skype, Slack, your online web chat solution, and it basically gives an interactive experience, straight to the point, for your customers, depending on what you'd like to do. So, for example, here is a register account skill. So what I'll do is I'll call it up, register account, and what this does is it proceeds into the register account skill, which basically is an interactive way to register a new customer. So the onboarding process that a broker has to is obliged to ask. So there are many different questions that a broker has to ask their potential customers. Basically, to get a good understanding on their if they can afford, what their financial status is, and if they can afford to lose their risk appetite, let's call it, and also some questions related to forex trading, and if the person understands the risks involved in trading. So these are mandatory things, mandatory questions that a broker has to ask. And using a chatbot is as an alternate way which can be added into how a broker registers new customers. So I've just said register an account, and automatic messages come up. Notice the smiley face in this message, which adds, just an example of the kind of touches that you can add to add a bit more emotion, or a better experience for the customer. So start registration, type it in, start registration, and this basically begins the process for registering an account. Remember, this is just a proof of concept. It is not actually integrated yet with systems. It can be. Integration is possible. So you can integrate with trading systems. You can integrate with your CRM to update customers' details that you have on record in your CRM system. And then you can also use this channel to follow up with customers. So, for example, when their documents are about to expire, through their connected channel in the on their Facebook Messenger or wherever it is, you can get an automated message sent directly to them on their mobile device. Let's remember, we're in a mobile first world, and is another reason why using a chatbot and automation through these channels makes a lot of sense. So what it says here, sure, let's start with providing your first name. So what I'm going to do is kind of go through a typical registration process, which would have normally been in a form, or an alternate method to register is in a form on the a broker's website. Well, this is a different alternative. So I'm providing my first name, last name. Of course, there's functionality to get this information directly from the Facebook account. So you wouldn't normally have to ask this if it was through Facebook Messenger, given you ask the customer's approval for getting their information through Facebook Messenger. But nonetheless, the bot would have to ask this question if it was through your online website a chat solution, which maybe has not authenticated the user who's communicating with the bot. So I'll continue in this. What I'll do is I'll just run through this registration process and give this proof of concept kind of experience and how a registration could look like. So what is your preferred email? So I'll just put a fake email at something.com. When were you born? Another cool feature about this is if the user has kind of left this chat in the middle, their registration process, because they got distracted or they had to do something else, they could quickly come back to this this chat and progress the registration from where they last left off. So it's interactive here. It's telling me, yeah, thanks Dinos, it's recognized the name that I provided before, and it's kind of communicating with me over here, giving a more personalized experience. Let's move on to a few questions we have to ask you. So I'll say okay over here. Okay, are you a US taxpayer? This is FATCA. We're obliged as a financial institution to ask these things. I'll just say no. If you say yes, different types of, the FATCA related questions will be presented. Also, what I'd like to point out here is I'm using touch. These are buttons, and I'm selecting them with my finger. I cannot show this in the screen presentation, but what I'm actually doing as my user experience, I'm explaining in words, is I'm selecting with my finger. I'm just pressing the buttons, and it's progressing this registration form in this kind of seamless, nice user experience format through the messaging app. So these are just kind of typical questions that are required to brokers required to ask. I'm just skimming through them quickly just to prove this thing. Right, so I finish, and then it progresses and it moves on to the next skill, which is this open an account. And of course, this is also possible when you integrate with a trading system. You can open an account. So if you, as a broker, these are the types of accounts that you have. For example, select, I want a standard account. Then the trader could select their currency of choice, and then it comes back, can communicate with the trading system through the API, come back, give the account number, and then send the password by email perhaps. And then there's just also over here kind of showcasing, that you can also follow compliance and show these risk warnings within the chatbot. And that is the first two skills that I just showed, that I just presented. The one was opening an account, and the other one was the one was registering an account, so registering a profile and going through that onboarding process, the KYC and all of that. And the other was just a quick POC on the ability of the chatbot to open a trading account once it's connected to the trading system that the brokers have. Then another skill which I'd like to show in this presentation. What can you do? Right, so out of the three skills, I already showed the open trading account one, and I went through the register account. What I'll show is the Q&A. So at the moment, any business, how are you currently doing your Q&A? How are you answering questions, your customers' questions, or your potential customers or existing customers? Their questions, for most businesses are available on a website where visitors go and have to navigate through a big list of questions. Well, an alternate way, and in this proof of concept here, I've loaded about 100 different questions. So, for example, relative to the industry here, what is leverage, for example? I sent that. It understands the keywords and then brings forward all the matches on the through the frequently asked, the FAQ, and then the user can kind of use the slider. This is a carousel that's presented through the messenger or the other, or any channel of choice, whether it's Skype or whichever channel, online chat, and experience a better kind of a seamless interaction with their standard FAQs, right? So these are just kind of standard questions. How to trade, for example, how to trade in Forex. Yeah, I'm just putting some random questions here. As a customer, right, do you provide live Forex tutorials? Cool. How do you calculate swaps? Whatever. As a customer, I can choose the relevant questions. How can I start trading? View. I would like to view this question. Bot comes back, brings the relative answer. And that kind of concludes the third skill. And to just conclude this presentation, the Oracle Digital Assistant, it works on top of artificial intelligence. So the more interaction, the more data is fed into the technology. So the more interaction there is, the more data is fed, the more questions are presented to the chatbot. The model can get trained and get better in terms of presenting most relevant results, based on the FAQ that is asked, or the mistakes, or the types of responses that come through from the registration process or in opening an account. The model can get trained and bring back analysis and get better with interacting with your customers in an automated way with the chatbot. That concludes this presentation. Thank you for watching.